This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms and opportunities for businesswomen to be seen and heard. This platform is for the women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. Come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration, and monthly masterclasses for you to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. These are the platforms to hear and share the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. I am your host, Trudy Simmons, and I am thrilled and excited to introduce you to Kelly Bentley from dx⁵. Kelly, thank you so much for being involved in the book and the podcast. Please tell us about your business.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Trudy. Thank you so much for having me on here. So dx⁵ is a stakeholder engagement agency that is based in Africa. We build communities and platforms focused on the tech space. So really exciting stuff coming out for the continent, but we also work in the diaspora. So we're very proudly African. We've got offices in South Africa and in Kenya. And we work in, we're doing stuff from Rwanda to Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, Ghana, all over. So yeah, we basically help businesses connect with their stakeholders. So whether that's their customers or their shareholders, their staff, and we help build authentic connections. So meaningful touch points that help obviously grow the business, sell the business, and drive profitable revenue at the end of the day.
You know, I'm all about the authentic connections, so I love that. Yeah. Thank you. Your chapter was so involved, and I really would love everybody to read it. But why does it feel so important to you to let people know that they're alive?
So I think, Trudes, one of my interestingly, my chapter is being currently lived out, which is always makes it a bit more interesting to write, because it's not historical. I'm really living a lot of it at the moment, and being alive, I think, is something that we take for granted. I mean, it's as basic as thinking when was the last time you thought about taking a breath? Yeah. Like literally just breathing in and out and going, I can do that. And I do that without even thinking about it. And being alive, I think, and having that threatened is something that I'm so grateful that I've been through. I almost wish it on every person, because it brings you alive. It makes you realize the value of living, and makes you realize that real living is not always straightforward. There's ups and there's downs, and they chisel you and they make you who you are at the end of the day. And I think realizing that that you have that chance, that you can take another breath. Yeah, there's just no, and it sounds so so easy to. It sounds so silly to think about, but it's really.
The thing is, even listening to you, I'm thinking, yeah, I love this conversation. I love talking about being alive, but nobody can understand that feeling of alive until you've been threatened with some form of death.
Yeah, absolutely. And until you've lost someone as well, that's something I always used to think, before my mum passed away, I always used to think I haven't actually lost anyone, close enough to make an impact. And I obviously don't wish it on anyone, but I think if you have been through that, you will realize really there is a beautiful side to it, because in every chaotic situation there's always a beautiful side, right? It doesn't matter how dark a situation is, there's always a little seed and shoot of growth that you need to look for. And that, I think, is if you strive to look for that, that's what keeps you sane.
Yeah, I would love for people to listen to this, to read the chapter, and to go away and think, if I was going to die tomorrow, if I was going to be threatened with my life tomorrow, What would I do differently today? Because I think that for a lot of people, that will be the only way that they will be able to think differently in how they approach living in that day.
Yeah. And how would you strive to be better? You know, how would you push yourself? How would you, I feel like, you know, Trudy, I feel like we celebrate, we're a world that's slipping into the celebration of mediocrity. And we weren't put on this planet to be mediocre. I really don't believe that. You know, my faith has kept me solid throughout this process. And I don't believe God wants us to be mediocre. I think each of us are created for something incredible. And it's our job to relentlessly search for that. And we never finish. That's the beauty of it, right? You know, you achieve something in your 30s, and in your 70s, you do something entirely different.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of being alive, that opportunity and that choice. So yeah, that's.
I think as well, running your own business and being able to have the opportunities to change anything at any given time. If you ask yourself these bigger questions of what you might change, and if your answer is something that is in your power to change, work towards it. Don't
Absolutely.
then leave it, because if that nugget's in your brain, don't leave it until you get into your situation, or what a lot of people get into, where they are literally threatened and
they're running out of time.
Yes.
Right? Because being alive is all linked to time. It's you know, if you understand being alive, you understand the concept of time. Trudy, I find now every minute that I am not doing something that is worthwhile, it makes me, I'm like, no, that's not good enough. That, you know, I have a finite number of minutes. And, you know, that doesn't mean you always have to be doing something chaotic. It just means, you know, you could be having a doze under a tree, but that's valuable to you. So you always have to be asking that question: is this valuable to me? Am I driving value to the people around me? You know, am I holding myself to a standard that makes me think that at the end of the day, I've done everything that I could to be everything that I am. And that is just really powerful. I think it goes the same with businesses. You know, I'm very lucky to have business partners who also appreciate and respect life, you know, and I think you have to surround yourself with people like that as well. You know, people who are willing to take risks and you know, be brave and appreciate that sometimes you need to step off, you know, the bandwagon, because it's not yours, and it's not going in the direction that you want it to. And I think that's really important as well. Seeking out your tribe is really powerful and very liberating, because you'll go through a lot of people who are not part of your tribe, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not part of your journey, and you need to accept that. And I think acceptance as well, Trudy, is just you know, that's part of being alive too.
You've said it in Respect Your Life. I think that is everybody should be asking themselves these questions. You just talked about the people that you're around. You've just organized a merger with your business. How does it all feel to you?
Geez, scary, exciting, exhilarating, completely nerve-wracking, but what a blessing and what a privilege to be able to do it. I've been able to, she makes me a bit like teary, but I've been able to merge with two business people who I've known for about 7 years, who, you know, when I first met with them, I walked into their office in Kenya 7 years ago, and I was like, I'm coming to do business here, and you're either with me or you're not with me. And, you know, our conversation kind of morphed from there, and we kind of tried to explore different partnerships and JVs and all these different things. And then last year we were just like, let's just do this. And we, you know, we've diluted our businesses. We've those Rebel Element and CIO Africa have kind of been dissolved, and we've created dx⁵ based on this joint vision for connecting Africa to the rest of the world and really putting it on the map. So it's been scary. It's culturally and connectivity wise, it's been hard. I'm based in South Africa. I go and see the team all the time, but it's not easy. But it's so rewarding. And, the hard things have taught me so much about myself. I've grown so much in just 4 months, and I can't wait to see where I grow going forward. But yeah, I recommend it, but I also say hold on for the ride.
Yeah, it's and finding the right people, because this is the thing, isn't it? It's making sure you're doing it with the right people.
Exactly.
What is a smile legacy, and how are you leaving that?
So a smile legacy for me comes from being the best of who you can be in any point in time. And that doesn't mean that you have to be 100%, because sometimes I think admitting, it's like me coming onto the call and saying, I'm not feeling my best today, but I'm showing up and I'm going to be, the best I can be in this moment. I think that legacy leaves a mark on the people around you, but it also leaves a mark on you, and it radiates out. And I call it smile legacy because I think that authenticity and that vulnerability, I think, is very powerful. I think being connected to the people around you and trying to make an impact on them is so powerful. It's also hard work, Trudy. I will say that, a lot of people can sometimes take, kindness and being nice as weakness, which has probably been something I've really struggled with, because, why would you do that? But there are people out there that do. And I think you just need to be committed to your own integrity and what you're wanting to achieve, and kind of almost put your blinkers on in terms of, people who try to sway you from doing brave things, who say that you're not hard enough, who, don't think, there's a very big difference between nice and being kind. I think sometimes to be kind, you have to, that cruel to be kind is actually a real thing. Sometimes to do the very best for somebody, you have to think twice. It's not an easy, it's sometimes not the easiest route to go. Sometimes you have to make decisions.
It's like saying tough love. The
Absolutely.
2 words are hard to put together, but that's exactly what it is. It's tough to tell some people some things, but it's said with love.
Exactly.
But if somebody turns around to you and says, I'm saying this with love, and you go, come on, what's going on?
No, I think you have to, sometimes a smile legacy doesn't, a legacy, the very definition of it is that it's something that's historical, right? Something that's happened over a long period of time. I think it's how you show up. To me, it's all about how you show up, and making that decision to show up and taking accountability, for who you are when you show up. We don't always get it right, but you can still leave a smile when you've made a mistake, but you go back and you fully accept it. That's what leaves a smile on somebody's face, where they think of you and they go, that's somebody I could trust, that's somebody I respect, that's somebody who I'd want in my corner if something had to go wrong. So it's about authentically showing up and being who you are, but being willing to change if you need to.
There's some quote that goes something around, it's not about how you make them, what you make them do, it's about how you make them feel. And that's exactly what that smile legacy is. It's that historical feeling of, do you remember when Kelly did this and how that made you feel? And that's, I love that. Thank you.
Right. So
if there was one lesson you've learned that you want every entrepreneur to know, what would it be?
I would say start as you mean to go on. I would say that we often underestimate the importance of a start, and being kind, doesn't always mean that you need to be nice. And then the final piece is around clarity. For me, the statement "clarity is kindness" is more powerful truly than it is that statement. And a lot of entrepreneurs, and I think female entrepreneurs particularly, don't understand that well enough. Being clear doesn't mean you need to be unkind. And in fact, being clear in the long run is always linked to kindness, because it means that everybody knows where they stand.
Yeah.
It's hard though, because it often, you know, you can get pushback from it. And wow, she was a little bit like, you know, bossy, or all those lovely terms.
I'm a clarity and productivity business coach, so I help people get clear. And in doing that, when people are clear on what they want to do, they realize that the things that are getting in their way, you just need to back them off. And that's when people say, oh, you've changed. Yep, I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going and why. And that is, start as you mean to go on. Come on.
Exactly.
Exactly. What's your favorite piece of business software?
WhatsApp. Always. Yes. Hands down. There's communication. I think that obviously it's real-time communication as well, or pretty real-time. But I think, you know, I love emojis. I think that, again, we are human beings, and you might be signing a $500,000 contract with you, but you're a human being, and you like to take your dogs for a walk to the park, and your kids love ice cream. Yeah. WhatsApp is the only way that you can communicate that, and it's not feel like it's stilted or you know, engineered. So WhatsApp.
Amazing. Yeah. Kelly, my hope is that everybody reads your chapter and gets to the end of it and thinks, what am I going to change to be and feel alive? And I thank you so much for talking about your story as you're in it, and we look forward to hearing positive news in the future from you. Thank you so much for being involved.
No, it's a pleasure, Trudy. The thanks is all to you. Thank you for the platform. I really appreciate it. It's been a great experience working with you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like the video and click the subscribe button for this channel for more inspiration. If you're a businesswoman looking for that community that will support you and lift you up, come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration, and monthly masterclasses to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. And for even more inspiration, please go to the link under the video and get your copy of the Shine On You Crazy Daisy series of books with inspirational and motivating stories from businesswomen around the world.